Every so often in the automotive world comes a car that we weren't expecting, and certainly can't explain. But this time, the boys from Dagenham have truly outdone themselves.
Immediately I'm excited driving this thing because, if I'm honest, this is a bit of a mad concept. I mean, a Ford Focus, very cool. A Ford Focus ST, very good idea. Ford Focus Estate, very good idea. Ford Focus ST Estate? That's bonkers! To ST and Estate a Focus. What on earth did the designers put in their Weetabix when they came up with this? I can't get over the fact that this thing has 247 brake horsepower. Did you hear that? From a Focus ST Estate. 247 brake horsepower. It's been a long time since I've been this impressed by an Estate. Handles the corners just beautifully. And I'm in these gorgeous Recaro seats which are just hugging me as I chuck it through every bend. I might as well be a train on a railway track. Not coming loose in any way, shape or form. This is an Estate and I'm able to drive it like a rally car. This is balmy. But then, of course, before every car manufacturer decides it's going to put something into production, it has to do research to figure out if it's viable. So a car like this, they had to sit down and think there is actually a gap in the market for a Focus ST Estate. And there has to be a bit of a demand for it as well. Where are you? Where are these nutters? Because I want to shake your hand. This car is just so much fun. It's an Estate. This is the kind of car you put your Wellington boots and your fishing equipment and your dog in the boot. But it goes like stink. This is just unprecedented. There is no car that's this big and this long that makes me feel this awesome. I mean, have you seen it? Have you seen the way this car looks? It might just be the sexiest Estate currently on the road. I don't even know how else to describe it other than a very sexual car. It's a crowd pleaser. It's Pamela Anderson in her younger days. You just can't help but be impressed. And you can't help but be slightly aroused by it. Here we go, foot down. Oh, it's not the fastest thing in the world. But I tell you what, when you imagine how fast an Estate should go compared to how fast this does go, this is meant to be a car of function, of practicality. I need you to go get the mushrooms from the shop, darling. All right, I'll take the ST Estate. And I'll have a lot of fun while I'm going.
With this car, you only have to look at the numbers to see how truly astonishing it really is. This 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo 6-speed manual front-wheel drive monster has 247 brake horsepower, does 154 miles an hour, and 0 to 62 takes 6.7 seconds. Put simply, what Ford have actually done here is tame the Leviathan and fit it with alloys.
This might be the best idea Ford has had for a long time. And they've had some pretty good ideas recently. In terms of gadgets, you don't have a lot, and I'll say that right here and now. You don't have a massive amount to play with. But when you have an Estate, you don't need a massive amount. This is for the person who's a little bit practical, does an awful lot of miles, but doesn't want to fall asleep at the wheel, doesn't want the boredom and the routine of having an Estate. This is for people with a personality adjustment. You've got to be a little bit Monty Python to own this car. This is a practical idea, done with a little bit more madness. This is Suggsy with wheels. It's such a cracking idea though, because there is something particularly dull and drab and a little bit about estates. And I like estates. I think they're pretty good cars, to be honest. I mean, let's say, for example, your mate needs to move house. You're much better off with an estate than you are with a KA. But this estate, I tell you what, you'll move your mate's piano quickly. Oh, it's got such a lovely noise! What a mover! What a mover! Oh, wow. This is like an Argentine dancer. Such fast movement, but tantalizingly sexy with it. Woohoo! I love as well, I am playing around with the dials a little bit here for temperature, because I can control the temperature that my passenger is experiencing versus the temperature that I am experiencing. So if I'm a bit too cold but my wife is a bit too hot, I can adjust it. No problem. Very good CD player as well. Great information system on my interactive steering wheel, multifunction, Bluetooth. I don't really need anything else particularly. There's going to be a lot of people out there with sensible trousers on who will say, what is the point of a Focus ST estate? You don't need one. No, you don't need one. But it might be quite nice to have the choice of one. And I tell you what, this is a good choice. Oh, even in the wet, this thing has good grip. Really good acceleration. And it holds the road incredibly well, considering it is absolutely chucking it down with rain. Oh! This car is actually crazy. Who'd have thought that Ford would have gone to the design team and said, make me a Focus ST estate? Those three things would never, in normal circumstances, be put together in the same boardroom meeting. But whoever came up with that concept, they deserve my handshake. They deserve my salute. What an idea. It's not the best estate in the world, but it is the sexiest. And it is probably the most fun. Imagine if you had a pet elephant that just wanted to follow you around everywhere. Chucking it about, having a laugh through the corners. It's magic. This is such a driving experience as well. Do you know what this reminds me of? It's very similar to the Focus RS Mark III that we drove last year. But I have to pinch myself and remember that this is an estate. Who's ever had this much fun in an estate before? It doesn't have enough gadgets to satisfy the nerd. It doesn't have enough speed to satisfy the adrenaline junkie. And yet somehow, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's an estate that will make you wake up and pay attention. It's visually breathtaking. It's agile. It's nubile. Well done, Ford, for coming up with a magnificent, original idea that is just glorious to behold. This car is going on my wall as a poster. Well done, Ford. Great job. Really great job. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolutely stellar automobile. This is just a crazy idea that does not even have a word for it other than stark staring bonkers, and yet it works so brilliantly. Everything here is beautifully laid out. The interior is very sexy indeed. It's not complicated. These Recaro seats are inspired. It just makes me feel so at ease with this machine. It is just about the coolest estate on the road. It's not the fastest, it's not the best. But who needs the best of everything on paper for perfection? Usually the best things on the planet aren't perfect. It's their imperfections that make them so exciting. And I have to say, this is the most exciting estate I have ever driven. It's a massive thumbs up. A massive thumbs up.
In conclusion, if ever I'm in the need for an estate, this is what I'm in the market for. Whoever came up with this idea? Mate, you need a pay rise. Get it sorted, Dagenham.